Shri Kurum Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagar Jadam Saugana Raghunatamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saugana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vedamsha. Hey Krishna Karna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Takta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vishadvanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So we're going to get into our kirtan, and you guys, so I'll sing and you guys can follow me right after. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine prayers, and then we're going to get into a little introductory session after that. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari 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 Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Radha Madhav ki So before we get into our discussion, we'd like to get to know the three of y'all. So we're gonna have like a little introductory session where you just introduce yourself, where you're from, what you're doing, etc. etc. Yeah. So Medha, we can start with you, and then we'll
Okay.
finish off with that.
Hi, I'm Medha and I'm doing my master's in data science at RIT. I started last year, fall 24, and then I've been coming to this club since like October last year, and then I think it's like very peaceful, and you will see, I think you'll like it. Usually we have the session like downstairs, but then for this month till September, I guess, we have some event going on, so yeah, just bear with it, and then yeah, I hope you guys find these too.
Hello, I'm Rishabh Chiprigar and I'm doing Masters in Computer Science and this is my first year.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarvesh Pathak. I'm also from India and I'm doing my Masters in Computer Science here at RIT. This is my first year. Nice to meet you all.
Hi, I'm Pranav and I'm doing my Masters in Electrical Engineering and I'm from Bangalore and this is my first year at RIT.
Hi, I'm Sandeep. I'm doing my Master's in Software Engineering. I came last fall 2024.
Nitish.
Hi, I'm Nitish. I'm master's in second year. I am mechanical engineer. And this one, Hare Ram.
Hello, I'm Aryan. I'm third year aerospace and business.
Hare Krishna everyone, my name is Nilay Vaidya and I have been coming to this place like since last semester, and I am a second year graduate
Just
student
last
in
semester?
data science. Yeah, I knew about it last month.
Welcome back, by the way, Nilay.
Hare Krishna everyone, my name is Aninda. In Bangla it's pronounced Onindo, and I'll be very happy if you can pronounce it in that way.
Anando?
Onindo.
Onindo.
Yes, thank you. So I'm doing my PhD in mechanical engineering, and I've been fortunate enough to come to this club since fall 24.
Hare Krishna guys, I am Vedant Tolia. I am a second year master student in computer science. I came in fall 2024.
Hare Krishna, Gopikanta Das. I don't go to school here. I'm just a local Hare Krishna devotee. So, just trying to get some sadhu sangha. Thank you.
My name's Claire.
That's my wife there.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna everyone, my name is Deepthi. I'm not a student here. I graduated way long back, but I'm currently working here. But it's so nice to be here. So grateful for your all association. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So I'm Ujjwal. I used to be a student here. I graduated in December. I work for a local company here. I graduated from electrical engineering. Been part of the club for 3 years now.
Oh, hi everyone. Myself Shashank, and I'm here for my graduate studies. This is my first year coming in, and I'm doing engineering management at RIT. Hare Krishna everyone.
Hi, my name is Sohan and I'm an RIT alumni. My friend Nila introduced me to the club, so thanks for that.
Hello everyone, my name is Vritant and I am the incoming student for computer science master degree, and Hare Krishna to everyone.
And I'm Sachin. I'm the president of the club. I've been the president for the past 2 years. And the way I found about this club is the priest of the Hindu temple. His son reached out to me, told me there's a club that's there that needs a president. I wasn't doing anything till then, so I thought I might as well just take on the role. So I've been there since. So today's discussion continues from where we stopped last time. So we're doing the Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, verse 14. So we're going to start with that. So if you guys want to just pull out the text of that, just go to Vedabase. You get the Bhagavad Gita there, and then there's a Sanskrit and the English translation to that. So you can just find it there. And we'll aim to do maybe like 3 or 4. And also this is the part of the sort of like the event where we encourage discussion. So I'd be hopeful that most of you will say something. So I can start with the first one and we'll move on from there.
Sachin, what was the text again?
14. Yes.
Chapter
4.
Just put it on the group for everyone.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Oh, you put it on the group
Yeah,
right
I
now?
put it.
Okay, sweet, thank you. Okay, so I will start with 14 and then we'll move on from there. So I'll read one line in Sanskrit and you guys can repeat after me, just the Sanskrit part. Namam karmani limpanti. Name karma phale spraha. Iti mam yo vijanati. Karma bir na sabhadyate. Translation: there is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruit of reactions of work. Purport: as there are constitutional laws in the material world stating that the king can do no wrong, or that the king is not subject to the state laws, similarly the Lord, although he is the creator of this material world, is not affected by the activities of the material world. He creates and remains aloof from the creation, whereas the living entities are entangled in the fruit of results of material activities because of their propensity for lording it over material resources. The proprietor of an establishment is not responsible for the right and wrong activities of the workers, but the workers are themselves responsible. The living entities are engaged in their respective activities of sense gratification, and these activities are not ordained by the Lord. For advancement of sense gratification, the living entities are engaged in the work of this world, and they aspire to heavenly happiness after death. The Lord, being full in himself, has no attraction for so-called heavenly happiness. The heavenly demigods are only his engaged servants. The proprietor never desires the low-grade happiness such as the workers may desire. He is aloof from the material actions and reactions. For example, the rains are not responsible for different types of vegetation that appear on earth. Although without such rains, there is no possibility of vegetative growth. Vedic Smriti confirms this fact as follows. Nimitta matram evastu shrityanam sargakarmani pradana karani bhuta yado vaishajya shaktaya. In the material creations, the Lord is only the supreme cause. The immediate cause is material nature, by which the cosmic manifestation is made visible. The created beings are of many varieties, such as demigods, human beings, and lower animals, and all of them are subject to the reactions of their past or bad activities. The Lord only gives them proper facilities for such activities and the regulations of the mode of nature, but He is never responsible for their past and present activities. In the Vedanta Sutra, it is confirmed that the Lord is never partial to any living entity. The living entity is responsible for his own acts. The Lord only gives him facilities through the agency of material nature, the external energy. Anyone who is fully conversant with all the intricacies of this law of karma or fruitive activities does not become affected by the results of his activities. In other words, the person who understands the transcendental nature of the Lord is an experienced man in Krishna consciousness, and thus he is never subjected to the laws of karma. One who does not know the transcendental nature of the Lord and who thinks that the activities of the Lord are aimed at fruitive results, as are the activities of the ordinary living beings, certainly becomes entangled himself in fruitive reactions. But one who knows the supreme truth is liberated, soul fixed in Krishna consciousness. Essentially, what I think this is trying, or at least like a gist of this, is wherein that. So God, of course, Krishna created this universe and existence itself, but he does not have to abide by the laws that everything else in this universe has to abide to. And I would put this on more of like an allegory way where, for example, when you talk about religions, and sometimes when somebody commits a mistake in that religion, people like to attribute it to the religion being at fault. But the religion states certain things which is defined and of course is for your good in life. But people on their own accord can do whatever the hell they want, and then that sort of goes back, like people accuse the religion of that. So that's just like an example that I'm trying to say over here. Anybody else? Any thoughts whatsoever?
I think some part of it also reflects onto the fact that he's asking us to do a karma, but without having any expectations or anything. Because the moment we start having expectations for what we are doing, that is the moment we start going down a downward spiral of a path.
Yes.
Because if those expectations are not met, that creates hate, anxiety, or any negative emotion, and as such, then our expectations regarding the next time or the next work increases.
Right.
If we continue doing our work without any expectation, that means that we won't expect without expecting anything. We are doing our karma that in essence means that at the end of it we won't be hurt, whether we gain with the loss, with the pain, or whether we gain something, we win something. It was our karma to do it, that's why we did it, and as such we don't get even positively or negatively affected by it.
Right.
As such remaining neutral.
Right. Essentially with like Hinduism in general, or I would even say Krishna consciousness, the objective is to go back to Krishna, right? And the way that's done is you don't have any karma left in you whatsoever. And so karma is literally the reaction to your action. And so the whole thing about being entangled is you are going to expect something for anything that you do. And with that, you're going to create karma again and again and again. And then there's just no way of you reaching to Krishna. So in order to stop that, to stop creating karma for you, is the whole thing about not getting entangled with your actions. And that helps you in the end. Anybody else? Anything? Or are we good? good to go.
Makes me, I forget what devotee it was. There was a certain devotee who was talking about when he first got attracted to Krishna. And he's like, well, this God just gets to hang out all day. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't have to do anything. That's who I want to hang out with. I don't want a God that's going to be mad at me or going to be happy with me or anything. You know, who's going to like, this God is beyond all that.
Right.
That's the cool God.
Right. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one. Prabhu, would you like to do that?
Yeah, 4:15.
Yeah.
Okay. Evam yadva kritam karma.
Evam nyatva kritam karma.
Purvayerapi mumokshubhihi.
Purvairapi mumokshubhihi.
Guru karmaiva tasmatvam.
Guru karmaiva tasmatvam.
Purvaihi purvataram kritam.
Purvai purvataram kritam.
Okay, translation. All the liberated souls in ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty following in their footsteps. Purport. There are two classes of men. Some of them are full of polluted material things within their hearts, and some of them are materially free. Krishna consciousness is equally beneficial for both of these persons. Those who are full of dirty things can take to the light of Krishna consciousness for a gradual cleansing process, following the regular principles of devotional service. Those who are already cleansed of the impurities may continue to act in the same Krishna consciousness so that others may follow their exemplary activities and thereby be benefited. Foolish persons or neophytes in Krishna consciousness often want to retire from activities without having knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Arjuna's desire to retire from activities on the battlefield was not approved by the Lord. One need only know how to act. To retire from the activities of Krishna consciousness and to sit aloof, making a show of Krishna consciousness, is less important than actually engaging in the field of activities for the sake of Krishna. Arjuna is here advised to act in Krishna consciousness, following the footsteps of the Lord's previous disciples, such as the sun god Vivashvan, as mentioned herein before. The Supreme Lord knows all his past activities as well as those of persons who acted in Krishna consciousness in the past. Therefore, he recommends the acts of the sun god, who learned this art from the Lord some millions of years before. All such students of Lord Krishna are mentioned here as past liberated persons, engaged in the discharge of duties allotted by Krishna. So they're still talking about why he should do his duty, right?
Pretty much. And also just alluding to the fact that
there's a way to do it without being entangled, attached to it.
Yes. And then, like, once you're liberated, you still have work to do, but then you're doing it in the name of Krishna.
Right.
Right.
It's like all the devotees who are not interested in gaining liberation or anything. It doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter if I'm in hell, if I'm in heaven. As long as I get to serve Krishna, that's my goal.
Right. It's like there's another aspect of Hinduism where they talk about their beings called as master souls. So they sort of are like Sadgurus. I would say even like a step above a Sadguru as well. And they are the ones who, of course, have attained salvation themselves. And it's not as easy as, okay, like, I'm done, I'm just going to retire and, like, just enjoy the rest of eternity in peace.
In heaven or whatever.
But you got to guide others into sort of following the same path. So, just another example over here again. Okay, let's see, Vedant. Do you want to read the next one?
Kim karma kim akarmati.
Kim karma kim akarmeti.
Kavayo pi atra mohita.
Kavayo pi atra mohita.
Tate karm pravakshyami.
Tate karma pravakshyami.
Yagyatva mokshaya subhat.
Yagyatva mokshaya subhat.
Translation: even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. Purport. Action in Krishna consciousness has to be executed in accord with the examples of previous bona fide devotees. This is recommended in the 15th verse. Why such action should be independent will be explained in the text to follow. To act in Krishna consciousness, one has to follow the leadership of authorized persons who are in line of disciplic succession as explained in the beginning of this chapter. The system of Krishna consciousness was first narrated to the sun god. The sun god explained it to his son Manu. Manu explained it to his son Ikshvaku, and the system is current on this earth from that very remote time. Therefore, one has to follow in the footsteps of previous authorities in the line of disciplic succession. Otherwise, even the most intelligent men will be bewildered regarding the standard action of Krishna consciousness. For this reason, the Lord decided to instruct Arjun in the Krishna consciousness directly. Because of the direct instruction of the Lord to Arjuna, anyone who follows in the footsteps of Arjuna is certainly not bewildered. It is said that one cannot ascertain the ways of religion simply by imperfect experimental knowledge. Actually, the principles of religion can only be laid down by the Lord Himself. Dharmam tu saksat bhagavad pranitam. No one can manufacture a religious principle by imperfect speculation. One must follow in the footsteps of great authorities like Brahma, Shiva, Narada, Manu, the Kumaras, Kapila, Prahlada, Bhisma, Sukadeva, Goswami, Yamraja, Janaka, and Bali Maharaj. By mental speculation, one cannot ascertain what is religion or self-realization. Therefore, out of causeless mercy to his devotees, the Lord explains directly to Arjuna what action is and what inaction is. Only action performed in Krishna consciousness can deliver a person from the entanglement of material existence. So, from the gist of it, what I got was Lord Krishna was trying to explain to Arjuna on the battlefield what karma is and what vikarma is, or negative karma, and that he was in spite of having like great authorities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and others, he chose Arjuna for this particular reason to explain to him everything was because one of the reasons is obviously for the sthapana of dharma on this planet, but also as to make him realize why karma is very important, why he should not let go of his weapons on this battlefield, and why if he is letting go of his weapons on the battlefield, why it becomes a vikarma or negative karma.
There's also a point about mental speculation over here, which is essentially you going on your own beliefs, or you trying to sort of make sense of what reality is. And over here, it mentions that one cannot ascertain what is religion or self-realization, in the sense that if you were to try and go for self-realization yourself, it's very hard. And so the best thing is to always look to somebody who's already attained it, use that as an example, and or do it under somebody's guidance. So in ISKCON or just Krishna consciousness, we do it under, of course, Srila Prabhupada, who's helped sort of explain things which are already complicated, but we're also looking to Krishna as like our guide to getting there. But then there are certain people who try and sort of get self-realization themselves, and it's a very, I would say it's a very deep rabbit hole to ever try and explore something like that. So anyone for that matter, if you've looked in history as well, let's say even Shirdi Sai Baba, like I'm a devotee of Shirdi Sai Baba, and for him as well, he had his own guru, and so like that's how you do it. Like you always need somebody's guidance to yourself be self-realized. So that's another thing that I got from this. Let's see. Ojwal, you want to do the next one?
Text 20, right?
Text 17.
Karmano here api bodhavyam bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanas cha bodhavyam gahana karmano gati. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. If one is serious about liberation from material bondage, one has to understand the distinctions between action, inaction, and unauthorized actions. One has to apply oneself to such an analysis of action, reaction, and perverted actions because it is a very difficult subject matter. To understand Krishna consciousness and action according to its modes, one has to learn one's relationship with the Supreme. That is, one who has learned perfectly knows that every living entity is an eternal servitor of the Lord, and that consequently one has to act in Krishna consciousness. The entire Bhagavad Gita is directed toward this conclusion. Any other conclusions against this consciousness and its attendant actions are vikarmas or prohibited actions. To understand all this, one has to associate with authorities in Krishna consciousness and learn the secret from there. This is as good as learning from the Lord directly. Otherwise, even the most intelligent persons will be bewildered. Yeah, so I think this passage tells us that what action and what inaction is kind of hard to understand, and essentially you need a guru. Probably that is not indicated in the verse itself, but someone who has thorough knowledge of thorough knowledge of what action and inaction, karma, vikarma are, to understand what you need to and what you shouldn't do.
I also like to mention to understand Krishna consciousness and action according to its modes, one has to learn one's relationship with the Supreme. Sort of like when we talked about like the caste system last time, we're talking about like where each one of us fit in terms of like us or the actions or like where we are in life is what makes us belong to a certain caste, right? Essentially that's how pragmatically that should be. But so this is also in a way where you understand your relationship with Krishna and you can automatically ascertain which sort of mode or caste that you belong to. I feel that's what I gleaned from that one line. Anybody else has anything to add on, contribute, whatever?
I think the caste system, I think there's something mentioned. So you belong to different castes based on your qualities. It's quality.
But also like
quality,
you decide to be a certain way because you understand your relationship with the Lord, right? So of course like it's your quality or whatever you want to do in life, but like to get to that position also is to like understand your relationship with the Lord. And in this case is like your relationship with Krishna is what helps you determine like which mode or which caste you belong to.
I think of the shloka, I can like see three types of karma that has been listed. One is our karma, one is vikarma, and akarma.
Right.
And from what I can see of the purport is like basically we are saying that it's difficult to understand the difference between three, because they have also said that inaction sometimes is not wrong, not a vikarma or negative karma. And the example that I get of my mind is like Jain monks. They usually some of them have this vow of silence. They can't speak anything, yet it's their discipline, their practice, their way of life. Just by that, they are actually inspiring several people around them to drop stuff like violence and other negative stuff. So
I was gonna kind of say this, like some people think that devotees are lazy because they're sitting around chanting japa all day, right?
Yeah.
But that's actually good action, right? That's not bad action.
Because without even doing anything, they are actually performing a good karma.
That's good karma, right?
And a karma is, from what I can gather, is basically karma that is that doesn't have anything behind it, like any negative vice behind it. So let's say if I'm donating some money, or if I were to take an example of Karna used to donate so much, but he donated everything. But when he used to donate, at the back of his mind he used to keep that this isn't mine. That's why I'm giving it away. That was his karma. Nowadays people donate. Rich people give money to donate money to hide something, or like when you help out a friend and you're like, yeah, I'll collect. This is a favor to you. I'll collect it later. That's not a karma.
You're
That's
feeding
a
your own
karma.
ego. I'm a great
Yeah.
person because I gave it away.
At the same time, I think a karma is something that is nothing behind it. Like the best example I can give is a mother's love. She does everything for us without even asking for anything in return in future. That I think is the best example of karma.
Spot on. Oh, you said what?
I was like, yeah, exactly what you mentioned. I was like, I understood now what the passage said, so I found the example very good.
Yeah, that example is really nice. Yeah. It's crazy that we like I like that we read this, but at the same time, the second we step out of that door, everything just goes to like everything is out of the window. But like I said, like at some point in life, maybe we'd actually start following all of this.
I mean, yeah.
We already kind of are, but to its perfection.
Just to have it in your brain is good.
It's like
It's a good start.
You'll read 5 things today. Tomorrow, one of your actions might be actually inspired from this, because you might be going to do some action and then you remember something about it.
Yeah.
And you remember that that's not a good thing to do, and you stop yourself from doing that. That's when it's like you're inspiring yourself for the future. You're preparing yourself for the future. At the same time, we are just doing our karma.
Like the experience that I had for the club fair, where I told you like the person who was to organize the club fair, like she was just rude for absolutely no reason.
Right.
But like instead of like the past me that would have definitely said something to her, just get quiet.
Yeah, instead of giving it back or letting it even affect you.
Okay, let's do a couple more. So, do you want to do the next one?
Everyone has their own interpretation of their own stuff, or what?
It's whatever you understand from the thing. It doesn't have to be accurate or not as well. So, do you want to do the next one? Okay. Alright, Maida. Let's help me. Who was it? Oh, you want to do it? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I
418.
like how you sing the short stats then.
Nothing. 419 or
18.
418. This time. Karmani akarmaya pashyed. Akarmani cha karmayaha. Sa buddhiman manushyeshu. Sayuktaha kritsna karma krit. One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. Purport. A person acting in Krishna consciousness is naturally free from bonds of karma. His activities are all performed for Krishna. Therefore, he does not enjoy or suffer any of the effects of the world. Consequently, he is intelligent in human society, even though he is engaged in all sorts of activities for Krishna. Akarma means without reaction to work. The impersonalist ceases fruitive activities out of fear, so that the resultant action may not be a stumbling block on the path of self-realization. But the personalist knows, rightly, that his position as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness. Because everything is done for Krishna, he enjoys only transcendental happiness in the discharge of this service. Those who are engaged in this process are known to be without desire for personal sense gratification. The sense of eternal servitorship to Krishna makes one immune to all sorts of reactionary elements of work. So what I understand from here is that once again, sometimes people say, even I used to think that, okay, what would our or maybe people become monks in order to escape their responsibilities, but the ones who follow the proper path, they can reach Krishna using any of one of the four ashrams. So they can be grihastha and they can be sannyas at the end and all. So there are stages. So depending on where one is in his lifetime, he can discharge his duty and still remain in Krishna consciousness and still go back to Krishna. That's my understanding.
And I also like the line of the impersonalist ceases fruitive activities out of fear, so that the resultant action may not be a stumbling block in the process of self-realization. Sort of like where, maybe not the best example, but in life that we try and avoid certain things, thinking that, oh, I don't want my life to go like get any shittier than it already is, and so then you avoid that. But sometimes, like, to realize like the good nature or the good side of things is to actually experience the bad side. So then you realize the value of what goodness or living the best of your life actually is. That might not be a good example, but that's the first thing that came in my head. So
Like, I'll never be in a car accident if I never drive a car, but then I'll never drive a car, so I'll never learn.
Right. So it's like, I mean, this is also a terrible example, but my parents, so they live by themselves. My sister and me, we're not with them, and I've always told them to like get a dog, just because it's just have like company and it'll be fun. My parents are like, yo, who's gonna clean that? And I want to take it for a walk and all. So I'm like, if you don't experience having a dog, you're never gonna know what value it's gonna have to your life. Kind of. So again, bad example, but makes sense.
I guess the action that we do, we should do it with the expectation of with the expectations that you attach with inaction. Like, say for example, if I'm supposed to go cook food, it's going to a very terrible example. I couldn't think of much, but if I'm going to like cook food, I'll correct myself. If I'm going to go help others, then I should keep the expectations of that I haven't done anything, because that is when your action actually becomes a good action. That you're helping others without any getting any expectations in return. That's how I think they are trying to connect the action in inaction.
Right.
I think I can add one example of it. Many of you I think know about the god Shiva. So he has like two states most of the times. So one time he is standstill, and one time he is in action. So he has two states. So I think this states that he always whenever he is a standstill, he is in yogi position and always thinking about something, and he's doing like meditation all the time, and in that state he is always involved in Krishna consciousness, that is Vishnu at the same time. So I think that could be the best example of it we can think of.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Definitely a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like what you said about like you do stuff in the mode of action, but you expect stuff in the mode of inaction, because when you're inactive, you're not going to get anything back, and that's exactly what you want to transition in the phase where you're actually actively doing something, but you still don't expect anything back. So like that's a really nice term. So we'll do one final one. Anyone wants to volunteer reading this one? Wow, okay. Deepti.
Yasya sarve samarambha
Yasya sarve samarambha
kama sankalpa varjitah
Kama sankalpa varjitah
jnanagni dagdha karmanam
Jnanagni dagdha karmanam
tam aho panditam buddhaha Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Only a person in full knowledge can understand the activities of a person in Krishna consciousness. Because the person in Krishna consciousness is devoid of all kinds of sense gratificatory propensities, it is to be understood that he has burned up all the reactions of his world by perfect knowledge of his constitutional position. As the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is actually learned who has attained to such perfection of knowledge. Development of this knowledge of eternal servitorship to the Lord is compared to the fire. Such a fire, once kindled, can burn up all kinds of reactions too. So basically, Prabhupada is trying to say here is that whatever we are doing, we should not do it for our sense gratification, and we should be like doing like service towards Krishna. So when we engage our senses completely in serving Krishna, that's when all other things burn out, and that's the perfect knowledge that we can have.
Right. And I also like this line that says, a person who has full knowledge can understand the activities of a person in Krishna consciousness who is devoid of all kinds of sense gratificatory propensities. So I'm pretty sure none of y'all would know anyone that lives their life like that, where every one of us is looking for something, even if it's temporary as well, but to gain some sort of pleasure or happiness out of anything. And to meet somebody in Krishna consciousness, he's not sad, he's happy for sure, but he's not sort of dwelling on material sense gratification in a way. It's just more spiritual and just Krishna connected. Whereas me, I'm just gonna open Instagram and that itself is a little dopamine for me. And anything that I do for that matter, I game as well, that's dopamine for me. So I'm looking at temporal sort of sense gratifications. And so I would, even though I can understand in this aspect that somebody who's in Krishna consciousness does not care about anything materially, if I was to see anybody like that in real life, unless I see them in the ashram, monastery, whatever, I would be like, what the hell? How do you live life like that? So I'm not reached that state where I can be, I'm with you on this. It's hard. And I'm pretty sure that's applicable to everyone over here. So I'm not judging y'all, but just generic basis. Struggle. Anything you would say about this?
I mean, you've heard the name Rishikesh. That's the master of the senses. So they're talking of someone who is trying to satisfy Rishikesh senses, not your own senses.
Right.
Is it possible? I mean, it takes a lot of practice.
It does.
I certainly.
And when I say this, there's definitely hope for all of us. Maybe it might not creep up to you today or tomorrow or 5 years from now as well, but at some point at least, hopefully. Maybe not even in this birth as well, but that's just Hinduism. Okay, so we will go to our concluding prayers, but before that, for the ones that are new over here, there is a document that is on the WhatsApp group where essentially you can sort of put your own prayer requests. It can be generic, it can be specific, you can put whatever you want in there. And we just go through that every session where we just read through everyone's prayers and just pray to Krishna that everything goes well with that. So for the new guys, will just share that again, and you can go ahead and type whatever you want in that.
But in life, it's not realistically possible that if you're doing something good for anyone, you'll expect at least a thank you or something. You do.
No, that's moral courtesy. That's somebody, and you would feel better if somebody does that. But not everyone in life is going to do that. You would help somebody and they wouldn't give a damn about it. But then there are people who acknowledge you, and as a person who's helping somebody, you feel better if somebody says thank you. But it's the same thing where you do an action, but you don't have to expect something back. So that itself is a reaction. That for some people, they help people in a way that when they get that thank you or you changed my life, that itself is like satisfactory for them.
Yeah.
Like that's the action that's what they expect back. But some people won't do that for you, and so it's like, yes, it's nice. I feel better. We're all in that position where if somebody says thank you, oh, I feel like top of the world. But not always you can expect that in life.
This is all just attachment. We're talking about attachment.
I guess it's expectations, right? Today, if I like to help out someone, a human, I'll give an example of a human. I'll expect him to say thank you. The next time that he passes me, he'll say something to me, like something. Now, let's say a dog, for example. One fine day, you go to a shelter, you sit down with a dog, you pet him, you do everything with him. The next time you go and the dog doesn't behave the same with you, you're not as hurt as if another human might have done that too.
Right.
It's just the root cause of our expectation that we expect other people to validate us in some way
Behave
or
how
other.
we want.
Yeah, validate us in
How
some
we
way.
would behave.
Like I would take the example of you. So if somebody helped you out, it's your nature that you're going to say thank you to them. So you knowing you're going to expect to see that in somebody else, but not everybody's the same, unfortunately. So
Like when you spoke of the woman who was rude to you, you could have been mean, and that would have fed you. You would have made you feel better, but then there would have been another, and
Right.
it would have continued and continued
Right.
because you were attached to whatever the outcome is.
right,
But if you don't care about the outcome, then you're not attached to it. You're gone.
right,
So we're all here in the wheel of samsara because we're looking for something. But if we weren't looking for anything, we wouldn't be here.
right,
So we're trying to release these attachments.
right. And like at that point also, which is
But we're
thinking
still here,
about-
so we still
right,
got to do what we got to do.
Right.
But I hope the waiter waiting for a tip, that is not a.
That's just in America.
That's
You don't
just
have to give
America,
tips
that's
anywhere
true.
else in the world. It's just in America. So yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure back in India also like nobody expects tips over there.
They do expect.
They do expect. Okay.
But also, one more thing, I think the last purport kind of answers that question. Like, you can't really, how do you stay detached to everything that you do? So, it's actually kind of, I think, dangerous to be fully detached from everything that you do, because if you're not detached, if you're not attached to things that you do, you lose your passion. Especially as students, you guys, if you lose your passion, you might not be able to take on hard challenges in life. Prabhupada's last purport, I think he gives the answer to that. He wants us to devote our actions towards Lord Krishna or the God that you believe in, and I think that's what the last was said. So be passionate about that. So every action that you commit to think of it as being devoted to the God, so that you're passionate about that. You're passionate about, so you don't really need to hear a thank you from someone. You're doing it as a servitude to the Lord.
If anything, it acknowledges who you are as a person. You're ready to help someone without expecting anything back at the same time. Not many people do that. Like people donate and they're like, oh, I need to make sure everyone sees my name with that donation, like know how much I've given to that. But then you have people who donate anonymously. Nobody knows who's done it. So they don't expect anything back in return in any way.
I think there is something, one saying by Sadhguru also. I don't know if anybody follows that too also, but I follow that. And he said once like to give more, and if everybody does that, like give more and expect less, there would be a good chain for all of us. Like if we're giving more and expecting less, then everyone would be happy.
Right.
So abundance, right.
So that is something.
And also mind you that everything we read in the Bhagavad Gita is not necessarily that we can like achieve in this lifetime. If you really believe in Hinduism, technically all of us over here have had like millions of births. And we've always been associated with Krishna in some way or the other. And this is sort of in a way to like remind you of your connection to Krishna, but you don't necessarily have to, like, if you don't reach him by the end of this life, like you're done for, kind of thing. Like there's still like maybe another millions of births for us to actually eventually reach there. But it's just about like learning one thing one step at a time and like just realizing your association with Krishna is what helps. So, and of course, we hear about all this, try and not be expect anything from somebody, but like I go out there and I do something, I'm gonna expect something back. Like that's my nature, and to change that, I will read this and I'm like, okay, the back of my head, I know this is who I want to be at some point in life, but it takes time for everything.
It takes a lot of time.
Takes a lot of time, yeah.
It takes a lot of time.
That's why it's not even about time in your life. Like you've had millions of births to reach where you are right now. So
I think it all goes back to the 16th shloka that we had today, where we got to the point where expectations is the root of all negativity.
yeah,
So if you say thank you, if you help someone for the first time and they don't say thank you back, that's in their nature, but it was in your nature to help them.
To
It
help
was your
them.
karma.
Right.
If you continue doing that, somewhere down the line, some person is going to come who will be so very grateful to you, because you'll be changing their entire viewpoint, and then they start doing a good thing to other people as well. But that gets added to your karma, because in spite of all the hardships, in spite of all the faults that you faced, you carried on, you endeavored, and that's what I think the Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Continue doing your karma. Don't worry about the fruits at the end.
Fruits
of
and
it.
actions, exactly. Yep. So I'm assuming that did you guys put anything in that document, or even if you don't want to, it's fine. Let's just feature that. Okay, cool. So we'll go over the prayer. I request everyone to fold their hands for this part as well. Oh Lord, we pay our humble respects and obeisances to our acharyas, starting from Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakur, Six Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Srila Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Srila Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda, Shri Balramji, Srimati Radharani, Narasimha Bhagwan, and Bhagwan Shri Krishna. O Lord, you have asked us to pray as Man Mana Bhava Mad Bhakta Madhya Jivam Namaskaru, Mam Eva Shasi Yukteva Matmana Mad Parayanaha, meaning engage your mind always in thinking of me, offer obeisances and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. We know that you're taking care of all of our material needs perfectly. Today we've come to pray for the few things which we think are most important and would like to bring to your attention. For peace, progress, and prosperity to all beings. For letting go of self-control, attachment, and expectations. For self-love, self-care, compassion, and kindness. Giving the strength to everyone navigating the tough market, overcoming self-doubts. For Krishna's support in securing a good career. For achieving your good intentions and vision. For faith in your promise to always be with us in the age of Kali. Help Karti to become more aware of his thoughts and himself. For Krishna to watch over the devotees who are traveling. For the temples and devotees everywhere being attacked by dacoits. For Shikha, the wisdom to take the right decisions in life. Finally, we would like to get the Prema Bhakti or unalloyed love and devotion service to Srimati Radharani and to you. We ask all these in the name of Srimati Radharani, O Lord Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll do our nursing prayers. And yeah. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada Lada Daine. Prahlada Daine. Hiranyakashi Purvaksha. Hiranyakashi Purvaksha. Silatam Kana Kalaye. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Narsimha Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Prabhupada ki. Oh, is Shikha coming?
Yeah, she's
She is.
on the
Okay, so we have our final prasad prayer, but we're just gonna wait till Shikha comes.
Do you want to like chant till then?
Sure. Prabhu, do you want to do like kirtan for like 5 minutes?
Sure. I didn't bring my harmonium.
Oh yeah.
Like we could. Because I think Shikha missed us.
Huh?
Shikha missed us.
Or we could, yeah, we'll just wait for like 5 minutes. It's alright.
Do anything in the red and I can
Either
say.
way works.
So like if we have the beads downstairs.
We could do Jasmine.
We could do something. Do you want to just check on stuff?
Yeah, where is it?
Check.
Like in the locker, right?
I didn't lock the kitchen.
Oh, Shikha is here.
Oh.
So Prasad. I thought she missed her bus, that's why.
Anybody?
Is Ujjwal preparing the plate? Okay.
I got
Shikha, so the rabbi reached out to me today in the afternoon. He wants a room for the entire September as well. He just reached out like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So apparently the place where they have their sessions at is under construction. And so he just requested if you could have the room for the entire September. So I'll speak to Andy because I'm more comfortable being down there than up here. I'll speak and see what happens.
Yeah, because earlier he told me that half of the month, right? Like having the compromise, like, but it should be balanced because they already took last week and this week. So they already took 2 weeks in August. So it's more than a month.
It's standing for so long.
No, it's okay, I'm good. It's just I prefer that room because it's easier to like screen share this on screen as well.
Yes.
And it's a lot more spacious where over here everyone's going to talk.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot more space, and
Yeah.
it's also good for all the mridanga and all the instruments.
Being on the floor.
Yeah, being on the floor is even better. We have our, kitchen space,
Yeah.
so it's easier. Everything.
But it was empty today when we came.
But they probably came
Now
off.
they are having a program
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of people.
I think they have it at like 6:30, 6:40 something when they go. Yeah. But yeah, if you want, you could speak to Andy as well. I got to speak to Andy anyways.
Yeah,
so we'll
yeah,
try and
I'll talk
see if
to
we
him.
can do something.
Yes. Yeah, full month is a lot.
Because I mean, I'm pretty sure they got their room because they eat food, but we eat food as well, so we need a place too.
Exactly. Yeah, they can do it here. If we can do it here, they can also do it here.
They gotta compromise
It's
as
the
well.
exact same thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they're doing something like which really, really requires that room compared to this room.
Unless there's more people, but I don't.
Yeah.
No,
Surprisingly,
I
when
don't
we
think even that is like I don't think there are more people than this now.
Then we, right?
Yeah, we
No,
have
so
a lot of people.
what I'm saying is that surprisingly, when we move to the small room, is when we have a lot more.
It seems like, yeah.
And when we move back to Scotland, it's much
Yeah,
more or less.
when we were like in the Scally room, we were mostly like 20 max, right?
Yeah.
But now
Maybe,
I think a lot of new
yeah.
students are coming and because of the club fair and also new semester.
And
This is
now,
also
yeah,
like
classes in session.
this is also the time when it's a little bit more free.
Right.
But as the semester progresses, it becomes more
Midterms
hectic.
and everything, nobody's gonna be here.
Everybody's busy, yeah.
When midterms are there, nobody's here.
Midterm and final, right?
But I think like Bhagavad Gita teaches us to compromise and adjust.
Oh, that's what me and GoPro was saying in the car
We
as
were
well.
driving in
Literally,
here.
we're like, you just have to learn to compromise. That's it.
I think personally, like, and this is just me, for me, like sometimes I would stress a lot about my work. Sometimes I would work late, even on Fridays. And I told one of the devotees, like Prabhu, who was our mentor before, Kishori Prabhu, that this is what is happening. And he was like, you take care of the club, God will take care of you. And every time something will happen, either my presentation will get cancelled or I will get more time for the work. Something God will, arrange, and I will not have to worry about that work. Or I will be able to figure out things easily in like half an hour or 1 hour, and it always works out. So I don't. Earlier, I used to beat myself about that a lot.
Well, I have a mix of that. There are times where I don't want to give a presentation, and then automatically I just get an email saying, "Alright, I'm not gonna do it." But then there are times I don't want the presentation. My advisor is like, "Can we like bring it even earlier and like do it?" I'm like, "God,
We were
yeah."
focused on the right work. We were
Yes.
just talking about that
Yeah.
all evening, were we not?
Yeah.
We focused on the right work and all the other stuff takes care of itself,
Yes.
you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, because there will always be studies, there will always be work, there will always be family.
That's what the.
We are prioritizing everything else, then we also have to prioritize our spiritual life, right? It is important. Well, I think everything is also connected. What happened? Mataji is not here.
Oh, she's not feeling well today.
Oh.
Yeah, blood pressure.
Yeah. But yeah, we are glad at least sometimes she's able to come
Mhm.
as much as we can have her association. That's good for us. Even the Gita Nagari retreat got cancelled. Did you get to know?
No.
Yeah, because every time it used to happen in August, and this time I think they were
We got
trying
it,
to do
yeah.
it in September, but all the people, the organizers and everyone, they were not free at that time because
Ah.
like it's also getting cold,
Mhm.
and the problem with cold is like because in the retreat we do a lot of activities like outdoor
Outside.
farming and
The
all that,
creek
right?
and
Like
yeah,
gardening and
yeah.
all that, bonfire. So with cold, bonfire is still good,
Mhm.
but the gardening activity because they don't want to do because one time when we went, we actually put a lot of seeds, and so there are like 100 people, right? If 100 people are putting 100 seeds in like small planters, they don't even have workforce to take care of that 100 plants,
Right.
And then winter comes and it's hard because they have a green house, but it's not that big that it can accommodate
Support all that.
everything. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think that's why like it didn't work out, but I was very sad. It's the first time it got cancelled.
Really?
Yeah, before this it never
I was just
happened.
thinking about it, and I was wondering, I thought it had maybe already happened, and I was like, what date
Yeah,
is
no, it never happened. Also, the main organizer, Param, he got transferred to Abu Dhabi. Earlier, he was in Singapore, and now I think he was earlier also, I guess, he was like at a very high post, but I think now he's the CEO and something. So he's very, very busy. Like, he's traveling different countries every day.
Wow.
So last time also he was very sad, and he was telling, and he also got like 2 newly born babies. So he was like,
Oh, man.
I'm not even able to spend time with my babies.
Right.
So he was saying like maybe I won't be able to come for every retreat, but he was trying to pull people and still do it this time, but it's just really like 15th, right? So it's like just 15 days.
Okay.
Last minute they had to cancel.
Yeah.
But that's a very, very good retreat. I was hoping to take students like from here, whoever is free. But it's also good. I think if they do it next year in August, I think it's even good for the students. But I think by the time September, they will also get more busy.
Right.
But then I think the classes starts this year. What do you guys know?
We already have started.
What date it started? 25th, yeah. So
Right.
either it has to be like either first week of September or otherwise it's hard.
All right. Yeah. Middle of the semester better, I guess.
Yes.
They are still open, huh? You can go there anytime.
Yes, they told that they can, have individual events and all that. Yeah, we can always go there. But the retreat is a different feeling.
Yeah,
But I know
it's nice.
you like more intimate. I think you like
Well.
more personal.
A little bit.
The best part is it's like optional, right? So you can attend what you want. If you don't want, you can
Yeah,
skip,
you don't like
and
that.
you be
Right,
on
right,
your
right.
own. So that I really like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I definitely want to go more than 2 years.
The only hard part for me would be waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I sleep at 4 o'clock in the
They
morning.
were doing
That's the thing.
6.
I'm not an early sleeper. I am not an early sleeper at all. But when I'm there, I sleep because there's so many activities. You get so much tired, you will sleep.
Right.
Like I literally go to bed at 9 and I sleep by 9:30.
Yeah, I would skip that, and like by the time I wake up, they're done with every activity they have to do.
Yes, that happens. Like I think 1 or 2 people, I never see them in any of the classes. I
No.
feel like, but that's also good. Some people come there just to relax.
Right.
To each their own.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's interesting.
It's a cute community.
Yeah. So we are just waiting for the prasad prayers.
Chalo. Hey.
Why is it taking so much time? I don't know what they're doing. I hope they're not cooking it. It's already
I don't know.
Shika, do you want to leave?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to hold this? It's done. So you guys can repeat after me. I know there is no presentation, but try to listen and do whatever you can. Mahaprasade Govinde,
Mahaprasade Govinde,
Nam Brahmani Vaishnave,
Nam Brahmani Vaishnave,
Salpa Punyavatam Rajan,
Sarvapanyavatam Rajan,
Vishwaso Naiva Jayate,
Sarvapanyava Jayate,
Sarira Vidyajal,
Sarira Vidyajal,
Jodendriya Kahekal,
Jodendriya Kahekal,
Jive Pehle Vishaya Sagare,
Jive Pehle Vishaya Sagare,
Tara Madhya
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna.
Okay. You're being in a weird room.
Very good. Refreshing. I know.
Yes, I'm coming.
Lot of students are coming now.